All right. So one of the big stories that's just dropped for us here in the States and around MLS in particular is that the referees have locked out. They've not reached an agreement with MLS for this upcoming season. And so MLS is now set to begin with replacement refs as a collective bargaining agreement dispute remains unresolved. And the first game of the season is Wednesday, Real Salt Lake and Inter Miami, and they might be doing it with replacement refs. Now, Jesse, you've had a long career of talking to refs, especially in the middle of a game.
I'm really tight with referees, really close.
What I think people don't appreciate is that the refs control the flow of a game. And maybe they do to a certain extent, but the rhythm of the game, the flow of the game is really dictated by the referee and how they're calling what they see. And now with replacement refs, this could have a significant impact on the quality of the game. But Jesse, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts?
Well, I believe this is the second time there's been a salary dispute. I'm not sure if we can figure that out or not.
I think it was 2014, Jesse, if I'm not mistaken. You're well right.
Done.
Yeah.
Tony, well done.
All right, big tones.
And we used to, I think the reason because I remember thinking like, okay, the league's made it now that, there's things happening. These are big league kind of things. And, I know that I've been behind the scenes and I've seen the effort that the referees are putting into everything from their fitness to evaluating their performances to the kind of give and take that they have within the referee community to try to create more open dialogue and internal constructive criticisms to help them get better. So I think there's been major advancements made in the league and in our referees. So the next part for me is it's a tough job, man. I actually, when I retired, Joe Matchnick was the head of the referee group, and they had created a program, and they came to me and asked me if I was willing to go into a fast track referee program, and they were going to guarantee me $80,000 a year, and in 2 years I would be refereeing MLS games. Now, I obviously didn't take that because I know the torture and torment that would be involved in being a referee. And my respect level for what they do is massive, but my desire to do that job is next to zero. So, but fair enough. I think the referees, the league's grown a ton. The players are making more money. I think everybody in all of the respective positions around in clubs around the league are elevating their status. And so why not the referees? And I don't know exactly what the dispute is, but I'm glad to see them standing up for themselves, and I hope they achieve their goals. And they're important. Your first question is, what could the impact be? The impact could be massive. Especially knowing it's Inter Miami in the first match, a lot of eyeballs on what's happening with Messi and the start of the new MLS season. They're going to have to find the best referee they can to handle this match. So yeah, the impact can be really big, and it might also show how important those professional referees are to our sport in our country.
Yeah, it's an interesting conversation. I wish we could get a ref on here to give us some of the intimate details, because I do think, and has being someone that was on the executive committee for the MLS Players Association during our first CBA in particular. Yeah, to your point, there are things that you're asking for, and then there's things that you want. And those are the things that you hold on to dearly. And I'm kind of curious to see, because of how overwhelming it was on one side, like we're definitely not signing that thing from the refs. I wonder what those couple things are that they're not going to budge on, and how that's going to impact pro and ultimately MLS and NWSL and everybody else that's associated. Because at some point, if your product starts to suffer, the things are going to happen very quickly. And I'm curious to see what happens in Miami on Wednesday against Real Salt Lake. Now, Executive Vice President for MLS, Nelson Rodriguez, said the union rejected a no strike, no lockout proposal. He then said in a statement that pro would use experienced professional match referees supported by veteran VAR officials for this first game. And moving forward, I assume. But where are they getting these officials? Are they rolling some people out from retirement? I mean, they can get us three. I would go out there. I'm trying to decide of us three, though. who would be in the middle? Who would be running the lines?
You would be in the middle because you can run the most, I'm sure. I'm definitely the fourth official. Jesse, you pick, I don't know, VAR? I don't know.
Do they still have the end line referee? I could do that.
That was a great invention, I thought. I mean, they were paying referees for nothing at that point. Yeah, look, you mentioned they've got, so I pulled this up, and I need my glasses, of course, to read it, but they've got 66 officials now identified. 11 have FIFA or professional experience. I'm guessing those will be center referees. They're from Brazil, Turkey, Spain, Italy, Jamaica, Mexico, and Poland. 10 are former or current national referees in U.S. soccer. I don't know what that means. Does that mean you're refereeing?
I wonder what the refs
league?
think about it. Like, these guys, aren't they supposed to be in solidarity? Like, other refs coming in to,
yeah,
I don't know. That gets a little tricky too, especially if you have personal relationships between each other. Anyway, Jesse, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I remember at one point they made 4 referees salaried referees, right? And then they were trying to make more salaried so that they could be full-time referees. And I think they've achieved that goal. But I think the high-end referees do pretty well for themselves. But then some of the referees that sometimes do USL, sometimes do MLS, sometimes do university games, that it's not so easy for them. I think they always try to tap out that at 40 years old that you can't be a professional referee anymore. You know, I remember even like Kevin Stott was a school teacher. I got to know him when I was in LA, and it was almost like a part-time job for him because he was a high school teacher in somewhere in the inner city of LA. And some of the stories he would tell about his experiences at school and then his experiences being a referee were pretty amazing. So, you know, most of these people that are doing this, they love the game. They have a passion for the game. They love being a part of it. They've developed a niche for themselves to express their passion, and they've gone all in with trying to educate themselves to be the best that they can be. And I think some of our best referees have been quite good over the years. So, you know, I go back and think about Kevin Terry. I think about Kevin Stott. You know, there's a lot of different guys that over the years, I think were almost like mentors and leaders within that referee group. So again, for me, you want to always see people that have passion and are professional about what they do to see them get what they deserve. So without knowing all the details, I would like to see the referees, the situation get sorted out and get them back on the pitch. And they're a vital part of, especially with VAR and everything else that happens in the game these days, they're a vital part of the product on the pitch.
All right, let's take a look at some of Jesse Marsh's previous encounters with his communication skills as it pertains to Jesse and referees. There's him getting a yellow, looking good.
That's
Very
Champions
nice.
League. That's against PSG.
What did you say?
Wow.
I said,
Was it in English or French?
I said it was enough giving Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe every time they got touched.
You're just stating facts. There's nothing wrong with that. Here we go. We got a red card in
Now
this one.
that one I remember. That was in Brentford in the Premier League when I was with Leeds, and I thought there was a penalty on Somerville, and it wasn't given to us. And you know, and then the fourth official is in this instance, the fourth official was the one who told the center to give me a red, which I didn't even do anything that bad.
Sure.
Did you know you were getting a red? Like when he's walking over, like, are you like, I know I'm getting a red? Did you hear the fourth official say, like, Marsh got to go?
Yeah. No, I heard him saying, and I'm like, what do you mean it's a red? What are you talking about? And by the way, that was, you know, I just put on our little message board here how many reds have I gotten. That was my only red. Now in MLS, when I was in MLS, they didn't have reds. They just they said, okay, you're out. You know, it was like in baseball when they like, you know, and I tried kicking them in their feet. And
putting dirt on their shoes. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Well, just to tie up this ref conversation, I feel like there could be some energy from the refs who maybe feel like they've been underpaid for a long time and are now trying to, I don't know, figure that out, get that balance there, make it a little bit more fair from when they weren't being paid a lot to now trying to make it not only more professional, I think it's already going in that direction to make sure that that they get paid to the level that everything else is growing. And we discussed that before, but I remember having some energy when I went through the CBA stuff with the players in MLS where, hey, we made $24,000. We had some guys making $12,000 a year. We had all that. Like, how do we figure out a way to even the score in some ways? And sometimes you ask for a little more than you should. Hopefully they'll find a resolution. Again, I can't tell you how important refs are to the flow of a game and to understanding how the game moves and who's on the team and the research that they do in terms of how different teams play and how they like to play. It all matters. And it definitely controls the quality of the game.